Well, in Victoria, the Allan government is putting even more pressure on the housing crisis, forcing developers this time to pay more than $11,000 in tax on every new apartment under new planning laws. Make that make sense. Joining me now is the newly appointed Victorian Shadow Minister for Planning and Housing and Building, David Southwick. David, good to catch up. Look, can you try and explain this scheme to us? Does this not just make housing more unaffordable?
Yeah, bang on. Firstly, great to be with you, Danica. This government thinks the only way to fix the housing crisis is to tax people into a new home. It just doesn't make any sense. We know in Melbourne CBD we've got close to 18,000 homes that are permitted are not being built because they just don't stack up. People can't afford to build them. And so what the government's now doing is saying we want everybody to live in high-rise, forget about choice. So we're going to build sky towers and hope that people live in them. And for every apartment that's built, there'll be another $11,000 tax to help value capture so they can add more amenity into the area. So, of course, the developer's going to pass that on to the person buying their first home, and it just makes it more affordable and the numbers simply not stacking up. It's just a crazy idea. But on top of that, they're saying that not only are we expecting everyone to live in a high-rise, but we also don't want anyone to drive a car. So all of these apartments that are being built will have dispensation not to have any car parking in them. So again, all that's going to lead to more congestion and people parking on the street if they can get a car park at all.
Yeah, well, I mean, does the Allan government just think commuters are going to, magically appear at the train station? I mean, it's so ill thought out, another ill thought out scheme. David, we haven't spoken to you in a few weeks. The Victorian Liberals, of course, recently appointed Jess Wilson as leader of the party. What do you think of her first few weeks at the helm? Is she the right person to take you to the election?
Yeah, look, she's really hit the ground running. It's great to have a young mum with an economics background that really gets it. And we need to, as Liberals, we need to start to be identifying with younger voters, with women that understand the difficulties of everyday life. And Jess has appointed a really good team. She does get it. The Premier at the moment is spending all of her time on us and attacking us, which just shows that we've got the government rattled at the moment, and so they should be. I mean, this is the worst government that we've ever seen. But I'm really excited in terms of what she's done. I was in police, as you know. Brad Batten, the former police officer that really does get policing, he's going to take that. What Jess has done is she's assembled a team with real experience to ensure that we can complement one another and really deliver a government that's going to have a future for Victoria and restore confidence we desperately need. We've got to get Victoria back, and we can't wait to do that.
Well, earlier this week, the cabinet was reshuffled. You're now the new shadow minister there for housing, as we said, and development. Look, this is the housing is so important, not just, immigration's putting pressure on housing. Obviously, there's a cost of living crisis. What will you do as part of this role?
Yeah, look, that's a really good question. So we've got to ensure that we provide the ability to build more homes. And when close to over 40% of building a home is in taxing, then we need to unlock those levers to ensure we get more homes built and projects do stack up, not more taxation. We've got to also provide choice for people because not everybody wants to live in a high rise. So some of the growth corridors, great opportunities to be able to get people into a house and land and raise a family. So we'll be doing all of that, and I'm working, and I'll work with everybody right across the board to ensure we can attract developers, attract investors, and get some of these projects that won't stack up at the moment, get them across the line, so we can build the important stock that we need. We know that even the huge waiting lists in affordable housing. We have a huge crisis at the moment, and that's playing out on the streets. Homelessness is at a record high in Victoria, and that leads to all kinds of social problems which we're experiencing because people just can't afford a home. We can't get them into one.
No, it's a big worry when you can't get everyday Aussies into homes. Now, this was interesting. The Allan government will cut Victoria's public service by more than 1,000 positions and deliver more than $4 billion in savings as part of a plan to get its bloated bureaucracy and soaring debt under control. But the Premier's rejected long-awaited recommendations to cut 2,000 positions and instead save $5 billion, David. She's rejected 7 recommendations outright, accepting 27 in full, 3 in part, 15 in principle. Why not just agree to all of them?
Yeah, look, I mean, the fact that the Premier's admitted to cut $4 billion shows that there's been fat sitting there in the budget that's been wasted, taxpayer money that's been wasted. If you take that money, $4 to $5 billion, that would deliver 12,000 affordable homes, 10 hospitals, the equivalent of the Royal Children's Hospital. This is money that this government is wasting, is tossing down the drain because they can't manage a thing. And I wanted to just show you something, Danica.
Yeah.
A little gift for you. This plant, right? So the government has spent $200,000 on plants for the suburban rail loop offices. They haven't even built the suburban rail loop, but they're renting a plant for $200,000. That just shows you how incompetent this government is, wasting taxpayers' money. And you know what? They should be adopting all of these policies. We've got to ensure we get the budget back in control. We're approaching $200 billion worth of debt every single hour, $2 million just to pay the interest on the debt that this government's created.
I mean, it's just extraordinary when pot plants are now being used. Where does it even begin? Look, we're almost out of time here, but I just want to ask you, is this just another election stunt by the Premier, realistically?
Look, let's see. The proof is in the pudding in terms of what the Premier is actually going to cut, if at all. We've got to ensure that that we live within our means. We don't do that in Victoria, and we're all paying for it. So this government couldn't manage a chook raffle.
No, clearly, definitely not. David Southwick, nice to catch up. As always, appreciate your time.